Good morning, garden friends. Today we're going to be working over here in the garden. Part of a project that I'm working on for next year. There's some prep work that I need to get taken care of in order for this to come off how I want it. I did have vegetables in here, but I'm actually going to transform this into a cut garden area. Now, the vegetables did well. Okra was amazing. Green beans were amazing. But I think my problem is it looked wild. So I like that very structured look to the garden. And I think by having this area a cut flower area will definitely accent the greenhouse. Now, one of the things that I am going to be doing is my wisteria and my roses. I'm going to cut back really hard. And you might be thinking, it's fall. Why are you doing that? Because what that does is it allows me to have, roses. Not as many in the spring, but it allows me to have roses, October, November. And then I want to be able to work with the wisteria to have it continue to train down the fence. And then anything weed-wise, anything that needs to get cut back, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing, and then also the raised beds. Now, as you can see, I did cut these guys back, but I don't like the yellowing, and it just tells me I need to open it up more. But I'm going to do like a really hard cut because I have some echinaceas back there that are being blocked by the rose. I also have some mystic blue Sylvia back there. I want to get my lavender trimmed back, and then just get this a little more organized. And then, like I said, I don't know what this is, this white powder that is on my wisteria, but I want to be able to get the rose cut back so that I can continue to allow the wisteria to go along the whole side. Now, inside this area, I am going to admit I cannot grow plants in pots. And I do believe part of that is because I do not have a drip system connected to them. So what I'm going to be doing is, in another video, I'm working with Vigo, and I have 2 round raised beds that I'm going to flank both sides of the greenhouse and allow the plants to get into the soil instead of being in these containers, because these guys are bad. And cannas for me usually does well. I'm just gonna end up planting those guys. Now, as I stated, we ended up taking all the vegetables after the harvest out. And then look at this, guys. So much of the soil has shrunken. And I think part of it, the stuff that's on the top, is soil 3. But we had done some doing our own compost, and so I think the stuff at the bottom ended up breaking down to where these guys were full, and you see they are almost like at half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put some more of the jungle grower flower and vegetable mix in here. I'm going to mix it in with the soil 3, because this is the thing. The one thing about the soil 3, good drainage, but I found that it was having me have to water too often because it has the sand in it. So I think by mixing in the vegetable and flower mix, it'll give me the consistency that I want and possibly not have the beds shrink down as much as they did. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Getting the beds filled, and then my coneflowers. I got some coneflowers. I have some salvia, and also some geraniums. But the geraniums are going to be going into the containers along with the salvia for my Vigo beds. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. Now, like I said, while I'm going to be cutting the roses back hard, you guys will be able to see the benefit, and then to be able to see the other plants that I have in here. And like I said, my goal is to open this up and then get my wisteria trimmed like I want it to be. And I'm doing a hard cut. So, all right guys, let me go ahead, get the roses cut back, get to working my wisteria, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay guys, so I got the rose bush cut back really hard. Went in there and got my mystic blue, the echinaceas, and also the lavender trim back. I'm kind of hoping that it will bounce back, but I see a lot of new growth there, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is the one thing that I want to show you. So when you end up trimming your roses, okay, so you see that little node right there. Let me see if I can find a bigger one. That is like my determining factor. Oh, here we go, on a bigger stalk. You see that right there? That is where another rose is going to pop off and leave and what have you. So I try to, when I cut them, make sure it's like right above that little node so that they fill in really nicely. But I just need to go ahead and get this blown out. I got all the dead leaves off of here. This is opened up really, really nicely. Now, this spring, I will end up cutting this really hard back, probably half its size. I was able to get the wisteria over here untwined and sort of some sense of order to it. But the one thing that I'm going to do is I think I'm going to keep it to that length and just cut it back. That way it's more manageable and you don't get all crazy on me. So like I said, oh, and then I did also trim my sunshine ligustrum because it was hanging out over the drain and also on my daylilies over here. So this is coming along nicely. Now I just got to get on that side and get that all cleaned out. And in cleaning out the bed and cutting back the rose, I totally forgot. I had, oh gee Whitakers, what is this called? I'll put the name of it up, but it was buried under the rose bush. Trimmed back the sunshine ligustrum. And it just, while it doesn't have a lot of color, it's neat. That's what I like, nice and neat. Okay, so we got the bed filled up. And I'll tell you what, guys, before we put the new soil in, we agitated the soil to help bring the compost that we had put at the bottom. And boy, that soil smelt so rich. So I'm going to go ahead and get the coneflowers and the daylilies, and I also have diascia that I'm going to be putting in this bed. So let me just go ahead and get them laid out how I want them positioned. Okay, so this is how I'm gonna do it, and mainly because of the height that they end up getting. Most of the coneflowers get anywhere between 16 to 18 inches. The diascia, I believe that one gets, hold on, see, what does it say? Well, it says 8 to 20 inches. I'll keep it trimmed. And then the Dora daylilies I got in the front. And like I said, these are ones that I thinned out in my garden. So let's go ahead and get these guys planted in, watered, and mulched. I'm hoping that the settling of the dirt isn't going to be too bad. I'm not going to put mulch on it right away because I want it to be able to settle, and then that'll dictate how much mulch I put on there. So let's go ahead and get this knocked out. All right, guys, so the raised bed is done. I am so happy with how it ended up turning out. I love the vibrant colors that my coneflowers are going to provide, and the fact that they are perennials makes it even better, because with my busy schedule, I prefer perennials, because you plant them once and then you're done with it. But at the same time, to be able to have the area around the greenhouse set up like a cut flower garden, because that's what I'm striving for. I have 2 more beds that I am going to be planting up, but that'll be later on in the season, because I'm starting some plants from seed, some cool season flowers. So that'll be later on. But the one good thing about the coneflowers, well, when they go into dormancy, the flower may be done, but I'll still have greenery back here. So it'll still show some life in the garden. Well, guys, thank you so much for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And if you enjoy my content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. I so appreciate it.